Hello and welcome everyone. Today we're going to introduce a new lesson, which is one of the lessons that you have in the first year of BAC. Okay, this lesson, you have it this year and you will have it the next year in the national exam. So pay attention because it is a very important lesson for you. Okay, so as you can see on the screen, the lesson is conditional type 2. By the end of this presentation, you will learn about the conditional type 2, when and how we use it. And you will also practice with the conditional type 2 through different contexts and situations. This lesson is presented to you by teacher Mohammed Saisi from Safi. So let's get started. Great. If I ask you, what do you see on the screen? Of course, you would say, there is a car. But if I ask you, how is this car? Is it a normal car? No, it's not. It is a very expensive car. It is a beautiful car. It is a sport car. Okay, so this car is not a normal car. It is an expensive car. So it means that not everyone can buy this car. If you want to buy this car, you must be a very rich person. You need to have a lot of money. If you have a lot of money, you can buy this car. So can a rich or can a not rich person or a person who is poor can buy this car? Of course he cannot. Okay, a poor person, a person who doesn't have much money or a lot of money, cannot buy this car. Okay, so there is a condition to buy the car. The condition that we are talking about it is having a lot of money. Without this condition, you cannot buy this car. You need to have a lot of money. If you want to express this condition, if you want to show that there is a condition to buy this car, you may use different structures. Okay? You can use, for example, the first structure as we have here. If I have a lot of money, I buy this expensive car. Or sometimes you can say, if I have a lot of money, I will buy this expensive car. Or sometimes you can say, if I had a lot of money, I would buy this expensive car. Or you can say, if I had a lot of money, I would have bought this expensive car. Okay? So here, as you can see, we have 4 structures. Let's focus on the 4 structures and see what is the difference between them. Okay, so in this sentence, as you can see, okay, we have a subject and we have a conjunction at the beginning of the statement, and we have the verb in the present simple. And here we have subject and we have by. Okay, you may have seen this structure before. The structure is called the conditional type 0. Okay, so this structure, which is the conditional type 0, is used to show that there is a condition to do something. But as you can see here, as you can notice, both of the verbs that we have are used in the present simple. Okay, let's see the second structure. If I have a lot of money, I will buy this expensive car. As you can see here, we have the conjunction if, and we have the subject I, and we have the verb to have. Okay? And to have here is used in the present simple, as you can notice. Here also, we have the subject I, and we have well, and we have by. This is the future simple. Present simple, future simple. Yes, it is the structure of the conditional type 1. Of course, you have studied the conditional type 1 before. Let's go to the third structure. We have the conjunction if It is also a conditional sentence in which we have the conditional F, and we have the subject I, and we have had. So what is had? It is the past simple of the verb to have. This is an irregular verb, so the infinitive form is to have, the past simple is had, and the past participle is had. Okay? So we have the past simple here, and here we have a subject plus would plus by plus the rest of the sentence. By here is the verb to buy, but here we have used the bare verb or the base form of the verb. As you can see, we have a subject plus a modal verb, which is would, plus the base form of the verb. So the structure is a new structure for you. And here also we have another structure. The structure, you will study it next year. Great. Today we're going to focus on the third structure, okay, that is highlighted here. So let's take this sentence and dismantle the structure of it. Great. So here, as you can see, it is the same sentence, or it is the same statement we have just seen. Okay, so here, as you can see, if I had a lot of money, I would buy this expensive car. Okay? If I ask you, what ideas do we have in this statement? Okay? Or what is the communicative function of this statement? This statement is used to show that this person, okay, so the person who is talking in this statement wants to show that he is not rich, that he is a poor person. That's why he cannot buy this expensive car. Okay? So here, he wants to say that it is impossible for him. Okay? Impossible for him or for her. It is imaginary for him. Okay? It is untrue. Okay? The situation is untrue. Okay? So it is something that he cannot or she cannot do. Why? Because he doesn't have a lot of money. Okay? So he wants to show that there is a condition. Okay? So without this condition, he cannot buy this expensive car. Okay? He must have a lot of money to buy this car. So why he has or why she has used this sentence, this statement, this structure, to show that this situation is impossible. It is just an imaginary statement or an imaginary situation. Great. So after getting the communicative function, let's see what is the grammatical function of the statement. Here the statement shows, okay, an imaginary, shows unlikely, or shows impossible action in the present. Okay, so here, pay attention. We have the past simple, but the past simple doesn't indicate the past, but it is used to indicate the present. We're going to see why. Okay, first, let's dismantle the structure here. Let's see what are the components or the components of this structure. Here, as you can see, we have a conjunction F, which is always used with the conditional statements. Okay, and here we have a subject, as you can see, and here we have the past simple. As I told you before, the past simple is not used to show the past, but it is used to indicate the present. Okay? If I had a lot of money, this is the condition, or it is the cause. Okay? So if we have a cause, we should have, or we must have an effect. Okay, what effect we have here? It is buying this expensive car. So buying this expensive car will not be achieved without having this condition, without having a lot of money. Okay? To show this result or to show this effect, we have used the subject plus would plus buy. Here, as you can see, so here we have a modal verb, which is would, and here we have the base form of the verb to buy. Okay? This structure is composed of two statements or two parts. Okay, the first part is concerned with the cause, and the second part is concerned with the result. Okay, this structure is called conditional type 2, or it is the second conditional. Okay, so now we or you may know that we are going to study, we're going to focus on the conditional type 2. And you have studied, the last year you have studied conditional 0, and at the beginning of this year you have studied the conditional type 1. Now we're going to focus on the conditional type 2, and let's see, the structure, let's see the form, the main form or the basic form we have to focus on. We have to respect if you want to use the conditional type 2. Great. Let's take the same statement in which we have two parts. So the first part is concerned with the cause, or it is concerned with the condition. So there is a condition. Without this condition, we cannot achieve the result or the potential result that we have here. So the result that we have is buying this expensive car, okay? And the cause is having a lot of money, okay? As you can see here, the main verb of the first part, which is called the F clause, is have or to have. Here the verb to have is used in the past simple, but as you can see here we have the conjunction F, which is used at the beginning of the statement. Okay, so subject or conjunction F plus subject plus to have in the past. Okay, to have is an irregular verb, so the past form of have is had and the past participle is also had. Okay, so F plus subject plus past simple, as you can see here, plus the rest of the sentence. And in the second part, which is the main clause, it is the main clause. This clause is used to reflect the result. Okay, so here we have to use a subject, we have to use would or could or might. Subject plus would or could or might plus the base form of the verb or plus the bare verb, as you can see here. Okay, so just to remember, here we have two parts. The first part is concerned with the cause, and the second part is concerned with the effect. In the cause, we have to respect this form, which is a conjunction plus subject plus the past simple. And in the second part, we have to respect the form subject plus would or could or might plus the base verb. Now, let's see why we have to use the conditional type 2. Here we have another example. Let's study this example first. If I spoke Italian, I would work in Italy. So here you can see we have the conjunction F, and we have the subject I, and we have the verb to speak. But here we have used the past simple. And the past simple, or the form of the past simple of the verb to speak is spoke. This verb is an irregular verb. The past simple is spoke, and the past participle is spoken. Okay, but here we're not going to use the past participle, we just use the past simple. And in the second part we have a subject, as you can notice, we have a subject plus would plus the base form of the verb. Here we have the verb work, or the verb to work. We have to use the base form, which is work. Okay, great. So here, as you can see, okay, this statement is used to show that there is an imaginary action, there is an imaginary situation. It is a situation that is impossible to be done. We cannot do it. Okay, great. Or it is untrue. Okay, something which is unreal, okay, or impossible or unlikely situation in the present. So this person, he cannot speak Italian. That's why he cannot work in Italy. To show this, or to show this impossible situation, or to show this, this imaginary situation, he has used this structure in which we have the conjunction F, we have the subject, and we have the past simple of the verb. Okay, and in the second part we have a subject plus would plus the base form of the verb. This structure, it is the structure of the conditional type 2, as you can see, and it is used to show that this situation is imaginary, it is untrue, it is impossible, it is unlikely to be done. Great. Let's take more examples so that you can understand well, okay? Let's take the first example. As you can see on the screen here, we have two parts, okay? So the first part is concerned with, it's concerned with the cause, and the second part is concerned with the effect, okay? So you can see here we have a comma. This comma is used to separate the first part from the second part. Here we have the conjunction F, and we have the subject I, and we have the past simple of the verb to when. Pay attention, the verb to when is an irregular verb. So the past form of the verb to when is one, and the past participle is also one. So here we have to use the past simple, as you can see, and before that we have to start with the conjunction F. Why? Because it is a conditional statement. This conditional statement is used to show that there is an imaginary situation, or to show that this situation is impossible to be done. Okay? That's why we have F as a conjunction, and we have the subject I, and we have the past of when, and the rest of the sentence in the second part, which is a part to show or to reflect the effect, the potential result, or the possible result. Here we have used a subject plus would plus by. Okay, so as you can see, here we have a modal verb, which is would. Okay, of course I can use could, I can use might, but after this modal verb, we have to use the base form of the by. So it means that we shouldn't say I would to buy, or I would buy this. This is incorrect in English, but here the correct statement or the correct form is to say I would buy, I would travel, I would do something. Okay? So great. So this is another example. Let's see another statement. If I were you, I would stop smoking. Here also we have two parts, as you can see. Okay, so the first part is the F clause, and the second part is the main clause. The first part is concerned with showing the cause or showing the condition. Without this condition, we cannot have this result. Okay? The second part, it seems that is used to show the result or used to show the effect. Okay? So let's study the structure of this sentence or of this statement. Here we have a conjunction, as you can see, and we have the subject, and we have where. Okay? And here in the second part, we have a subject plus would plus stop. Okay? So stop here is used in its base form. Why? Because we have to respect, okay, we have to respect the rule, okay, that says that after a modal verb, we have to use the base form of the verb. Here, you may notice that we have used were instead of using was. So this one is an exceptional case in English. It means that with all the subject pronouns, we have to use were. You know that in the past simple, when you use the verb to be in the past simple, you say I was, you were. Okay? So I was here. We cannot use it here because it is an exceptional case. So here we have to use I were. Great. So here the structure is used with the conditional type 2, in which we have an imaginary situation, we have an impossible situation that cannot be achieved. Okay? So that's why we have the structure in which we have a conjunction, subject, past simple, and here we have a subject plus modal verb would plus the base form of the verb to stop. Let's see another example. They would stay longer if they had more time. Okay, so here we have a condition and we have a result. What is the condition? Okay, the condition is the condition is having more time, and the result is staying longer. Great. So here, as you can see, the F clause is not put it at the beginning of the statement, but it is put Seg Ang. So here we have made the inversion of the cause and the effect. So there is no problem if you start with the effect. Okay, nothing gonna be happened, nothing gonna be changed. So here you have to respect the structure of the conditional type 2. So with the cause, okay, or with the if clause, you have to respect the structure that I have given to you before, which is the conjunction if plus the subject plus the past symbol of the main verb. And here we have the subject plus would plus the base form of the verb. Great. Let's take another statement. If I won, okay, so here we have the past simple. So we should say, if I won $1 million, I would stop working. Okay, so here as you can see, we have the first part, which is the if clause. And in this if clause, we have the conjunction if, and we have the subject, and we have the past simple of the verb to win. And here we have the subject plus would plus the base form of the verb. Okay, just respect the form. This structure is also used to show that there is an impossible situation or an imaginary situation. Great. Let's take another example. Here, as you can see, we have the conjunction if, and we have the subject, and we have the past simple of the verb to have. If I had more time, so here there is a condition. The condition is having more time. Without having more time, we cannot travel around the world. So here, to travel around the world, we have to have more time. Okay, that's why we have used the conditional type. So this situation is an imaginary, it is an impossible situation for this person. That's why he has used the conditional type 2, as you can see here. So here we have the conjunction if, and we have the subject, we have had, which is the past simple of the verb to have, and here we have subject plus would plus the base form of the verb. Let's practice. Okay, so here we're going to have more examples in order to understand well. Okay, so in practice, what we have to do, we have to complete the conditional sentences, okay, with conditional type 2, of course, by putting the verbs into the correct form. So the first statement that we have here, as you can see, okay, so we have a cause and we have an effect. What is the cause? The cause is having a yacht, and the effect is sailing the 7 seas. Okay, so here we have, we have to use the first verb, okay, with the structure that we have just studied. It is the structure of the if clause. It means that this verb must be used in the past simple, and that verb, which is sail, must be used in its form, its base form. Okay, great. So let's see your answer. Great. So here we have the statement I have just given to you, and here we have 2 forms of the answer. Okay, so if we had a yacht, we would sail 7 seas. Okay, so here we have the cause and we have the effect. This situation is impossible, of course. It is just an imaginary situation, and that's why we have to use the conditional type 2. As you can see here, subject. Okay, before the subject we have a conjunction and the past simple, and the second part, which is the part that shows the result or that shows the effect. Okay, here we have a subject and plus who plus sail, which is the base form of the verb. We can make the inversion of the cause and the effect, and we can start, or in this case we may start with the effect. We would sail the 7 seas if we had a yacht. Okay, as you can see here, it is the second part in which we have a subject plus would plus the base form of the verb to sail, and in the second part we have the conjunction if, and we have the subject we, and we have the past simple of the verb to have. But if you want to, make a difference between the first one and the second one. Here, you will notice that in this statement, we don't have a comma. Okay, so when you start with the result, when you start with the main clause, you don't have to put a comma. Why? Because it is one statement. And here we have a comma, okay, to separate the first sentence from the second sentence, or to separate the first part, which is the part that shows the condition, the part that shows, the cause, okay, from the second part that shows the effects, or that shows the result. Let's see another example. Here, as you can see, we have another statement in which we have a cause and we have an effect. Here we have the verb have and the verb learn. Have for the cause and learn for the result or for the effect. So of course we have to use this one with the past simple, and this one must be used in its base form. Okay, so what will be your answer? So you can say, if he had more time, he would learn karate. As you can see, the conjunction F plus subject plus the past simple of the verb to have plus subject plus would plus the base form. Or you can make the inversion of the cause and the effect, and you start with the effect. In this case, you can say he would learn subject plus would plus the base form of the verb, and you finish with the cause or the if clause, in which you should have a conjunction plus the subject plus the past simple of the verb. Okay, so this is all for today. I want to say to you, thank you for watching, and see you again.